Hello guys and girls, my name's Fast Farmer and welcome back to another episode on our Ohio Richlands playthrough. It's still March, and we are going to start off this episode by using our brand new, well, new to us anyway, planting setup with our Case IH Traction King and our Kinsey Blue Drive planter. Start by getting it unfolded, and we're going to be planting sunflowers in the field. Here, this is field 34 that had potatoes in it that we harvested, and now we're doing sunflowers. I believe those can be planted. Let me just check to make sure. Yep, sunflowers, there we go. Hopefully this Traction King can pull this. It is a large planter, not one of the largest. It is one of the largest, but not the largest. Obviously it's 12 meter working width, whereas the biggest ones are 17.8 and 18.2 meters, I think. So yes, the Traction King is struggling a bit, but I think we'll do just fine getting this field done. So yeah, we'll get this done in a time lapse, and then we'll be moving on probably into April. Oh, I do have to spread fertilizer on this field as well before we move on, as we are running Precision Farming DLC and we need some nitrogen in this field so we get good yields. There you have it. Didn't take very much time with our brand new seeder here. This thing is quite large and it can go very fast. 11 mile an hour max working speed, so yeah, that's really exciting. We'll be able to get some big fields done with this thing. So now we have our field planted with sunflowers, and we're going to go get our fertilizer spreader to get those pH values good. I'll just check and see what they're at now. I believe it's going to be bad or okay. Yeah, so the nitrogen is bad there, as you can see in the bottom right corner. So we need to get some fertilizer on there before we move on, so that our crops can be well fertilized before they start growing. I do like this tractor here, this Case Traction King. Unfortunately, it is a little underpowered. Especially for this planter. This thing is quite large for this tractor. But yeah, this tractor has all-wheel steer, which is it's pretty rare to see that on a tractor, especially an old one like this. Not sure exactly what time the Traction King was, but I'm sure it was before the 2000s, certainly. And yeah, there's not very many older tractors that have all-wheel steering. So that's just pretty cool to see. It is a mod, obviously. Unfortunately, there's not very many classic tractors in the game. In the base game, anyways. But yeah, it looks pretty nice. It's got some pretty cool wheel options. I think these are like the second or third widest, so you can get some pretty big wheels on there. And I believe I am on the smallest engine size, so when we upgrade the engine, it should definitely be able to handle this planter better, but I just don't have the money right now to be spending it all on a engine upgrade, so unfortunately, even with all-wheel steer, its turning radius is a little small. Or wide, rather. It can't quite turn as tight as I'd like it to. That's not too big of a deal. Still definitely drivable. Just takes more room than I believe it should. Yeah, so some plans we've got in the near future. Obviously, we just planted our sunflowers here in March, and we have, I believe, barley and canola, so those will be ready for harvest June, July, which is coming up soon in a few months here. So we'll be moving forward through the months pretty quickly once we get our field fertilized. I'll be checking for contracts and whatnot that we can take in order to boost some money and see if we can maybe even buy another small field before harvest time. That'd be pretty cool. Just to increase our money making potentials. But if not, that's okay too. We can get some more money to have so we can maybe harvest or upgrade our land in the future. And with our new grain bins we got a few episodes ago, we'll be able to store that grain and sell it at the optimum time instead of waiting, or instead of having to sell it right at harvest time for way less money. So these 3 bins here should be able to, yeah, really help our farm out in terms of money that we'll get. That's the theory anyways. We'll see how well it pans out. Alright, where is this planter going to fit? I think I probably went on the wrong side. Let's get it spun around here. See if we can fit it in there. I'm probably gonna... yeah, we'll try and put it where that fertilizer spreader in the back there is. So let's get in the 4755. And we'll get that fertilizer spreader out of the way. And that's where the planter will go. Ooh, that's gonna be tight. Look at me go. Alright, let's connect up there. Do have some lime. Do I have another fertilizer spreader? Let me check that. Nope, just this one. So we'll have to dump the lime somewhere. Preferably out here in the farmyard somewhere where we can put it away. Oh, that'll do quite nicely. Alright, we need fertilizer, which is this blue pallet here, I think. Nope, it's picking up lime. There's fertilizer. And there's another pallet underneath that shed there, so we'll go get that. It's looking like we're gonna have to buy some from the store. Can I get close enough? It's probably not gonna be able to get close enough to get that stuff. Okay, whatever. Let's just get this Traction King with the planter in the shed here. Nope, not gonna work. This is quite a long planter, so it's gonna be difficult to get it in there. But I believe I can handle it. Certainly helps to have an all-wheel steer tractor. Here we go, give it a nice love tap on the back wall there. And let's put away the Traction King for now. It's going to be our workhorse here for the next few years, I imagine, on our farm. Okay, there we go. We'll get the fertilizer spreader filled up. Have to go down to the shop and buy some more fertilizer probably. And since this is slow, I won't make you guys watch it drive all the way down to the store and then all the way up to our field, so we'll get right on that. Here we are almost at our field to fertilize it and get it, the pH values nice and good for those sunflowers we just planted. And while I was heading down to the store to pick up our fertilizer, I did see a contract for planting sugar beets down in field 29. I'll just get up here and show you. That's this square field down here. So we did just put away our planter and the Traction King, but for $11,000 I think it's worth getting that out and heading down there just to be able to try out our planting setup a little bit more. We're going to get this fertilizer spread, and then we'll head down and plant that field with sugar beets. It's not a ton of money, only $11,000, but it is better than nothing. So, and again, it gives us the opportunity to use our brand new planting setup one more time. So I think that's going to be worth it. And hopefully it shouldn't take too long because that planter is pretty big. The planter they wanted you to use with the contract that they offered you was like 5 meters wide, and ours is 12, so it should be pretty quick. But yeah, we'll get this fertilizer spread here, and then we'll be getting going on that planting contract, and then we'll be moving forward in the months, and maybe even hitting harvest time this episode, who knows. Alrighty guys, so I know I said I was going to finish up seeding that field 34 and then head down to field 29 to plant sugar beet for this contract. And I am still going to do that, but I also picked up 2 fertilizing contracts, one worth $45,000 and the other worth $17,000. So those together, it's easy money really. I already have a fertilizer spreader. And yeah, for 60 grand, just spread some fertilizer for 30 minutes or whatever it's going to take. That is absolutely worth it. So I'm going to go and do those as well and show a bit of that. But yeah, just a couple contracts that we're doing, and then we'll be moving on into April. And I'm glad I took the contract here in field 29. It gives me an opportunity to drive through this forest here on this map, because they are quite beautiful. Especially in other months, not necessarily March, because the trees are still pretty thin, but yeah. There's a lot of crisscrossing paths and whatnot down here, logging trails that the map doesn't show. It's a pretty good looking forest. And field 29 is only accessible by these logging trails here, so oh man, I missed my turn and then hit the tree. I'm falling apart. Let's just back it up. Yeah, field 29 is only accessible by this dirt track here, so it gives me a great chance to see a part of the map you don't usually see. Let's get this unfolded and then we'll get cracking on our contract here. Yeah, there's that turning radius. Can't quite turn very sharp, seems like. Not too much of an issue, but a little annoying at sometimes. Hopefully this doesn't take too long and then we can be moving forward, but yeah, well worth the money we're going to get from it, that's for sure. Alrighty guys, here we are, very nearly at the end of our contract on field 29. I also finished the one on field 27 already. Just had the fertilizer contract on field 8. This has been going along pretty well. This seeder it's working very nicely for us. It is a little heavy for the tractor. The seeder has a max working speed of 11 miles an hour, and this is only doing 6. It does have issues with the transmission, but it's just, yeah, it's a little too heavy for the tractor. So we're going to go ahead and collect the money payouts from those 2 contracts, and then we'll get our equipment folded up and back to our farm. So both of these, collect. Good little cash boost, and then this one's going to be a big payout, $45,000 just for seeding that little field. So yeah, I'll get these tractors back to our field, and I'll catch up with you guys once that contract on field 8 is done. And here we are doing the last pass on field 8 for this contract here. Should pay out about $45,000, but I did lease the equipment, so I'll probably lose a few thousand from that. I am leaving a tiny bit. I don't think that's that big of a deal on a field this large. You're bound to leave a couple pieces around. That should be good and done. Yep. Oop. So it says 44,000. Very good. Now I'm up to $87,000 in the bank. Tractors are a little dirty. We'll have to give them a bath at some point, but probably just wait till winter time for that. Not when it's too cold though. We don't want them freezing, obviously. But yeah, let's get our garage doors shut, and we'll be moving into April, seeing if there's any contracts to do, and if not, we'll just keep on rolling to about June and July for harvest time to harvest our canola and barley fields, and then later on, I think October, November is where we're going to harvest our sunflower seeds. So I'll catch you later. We'll see if we've got any contracts to do. I'll check back in whenever those are, but if not, next time you'll see me is probably June or July for harvest. Alrighty guys, here we are. It's May, and I did forget to do something that I should do, but first we should take a look at our crops, and they're looking very good. We got a sea full of yellow up there. This is canola field, and then the barley over yonder is also looking good. Those will both be ready to harvest here in a couple months, but the thing I did forget to do is field 34 has weeds growing on it. I forgot to spray those down, so we're going to do that now. Here's our sprayer here, and we'll get our Valtra tractor to do that, just because these tractors have wide tires on it and this one doesn't, and I don't want to crush the crops, so I might have to buy this though, because this is a leased tractor. I'm not sure how much it is. Let me just check. It's 100,000. I don't have enough for that. Darn. So what I don't know is, will the we have crop destruction turned on. I don't want to destroy my sunflowers, obviously, as I'm seeding or spraying them. So I might just have to take the duals off of this John Deere and put some narrow tires on. I don't recall what I did last time. It may have been young. The crops may have been young enough that it didn't matter. Okay, it doesn't look like we can do that with. There's no narrow tires here, is there? It does not appear. Darn. Okay, well. Don't know what to do then. I guess I'll just hope that it doesn't. I'll put the standards on. And we'll just hope that it doesn't destroy the crops. And if it does, then hopefully, because I have the standard tires on, it won't take out too much of the crop. Hopefully this doesn't lose me too much money. That is a bit of a weakness of our farm, though. We don't have a good good spraying vehicle. I would have liked a Valtra to do that, but you can't customize a leased vehicle in Farm Simulator. So that is just out of the question, unfortunately. And as it's $100,000 to buy, I don't have $100,000, so I'm gonna have to fill this up. I don't have any herbicide here, so I'll have to go and stop by the store, even though it's on opposite ends of the map. So I'll go and do that, and then we'll be in the field spraying, and then we can move on to harvest. Alright, here we are, just about to our field. Just gotta go through these trees here first, but when we get there, we're going to spray and pray. We're gonna spray our herbicide and hope that the crop destruction doesn't destroy our sunflowers here, so here it is, the moment of truth. Okay, it looks like we're good. The crops are still young enough that they'll just spring right back up. Because as you can see, crop destruction is on, so that's lucky. If I waited a couple of months, that might not have been the case. The crops might have been old enough that they would have just been destroyed by the crops or the tractor's tires, but yeah, that's good. Now we're not going to lose any sunflowers. Anyways, I'll get this field sprayed up and then we'll be moving forward. And there you have it. One field up, one field down, real quick. It's the benefit of having small fields. Get things done very quickly. We'll get this tractor and sprayer back to our farm. And then we'll be looking for more things to do come the next few months. So I'll see you then. Alrighty guys, here we are in June, and our barley field is ready for harvest. Canola still needs another month or two, and the sunflowers are going to take quite a few months, because we just planted those a few months ago. But yeah, it is time for harvest, and we're going to see how much our yield improved. As you can see, it is, let's get to the yield here, it's quite orange and red, which signals low yields. And that was because that was our first harvest. So this harvest, we should have all the precision farming values much better. And we should get much better yields here. I'm going to drop straw this time. I'm going to drop the straw swath. And probably bale that up later. But for now, we're just going to get harvesting. And yeah, as you can see down there on the mini-map, we are at that lighter color, which means better yield, so this is good. And we can check our field info once we get the headlands done to see what it should yield. Actually, I can just check that on precision farming here, can I not? Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, we're just going to get harvesting here. We're going to continue harvesting, and then I also picked up a contract right there through the trees on field 7. It is also barley. It's going to Butler's Ag, Ohio, so we should get some good cash from that. I think it's about $8,000, so not super high amount, but any amount is good, and it'll also give us a little bit of extra crops to store in our silos that we built a few episodes ago. And then we can sell all our grain at its maximum price instead of selling it right at harvest time. And yeah, those heads full of kernels are looking gorgeous. Compared to, so I had Farm Sim 17 before this, and now that I have Farming Simulator 22, the texture's improved quite a bit, and yeah, even after playing this game for a year, it's still a little shocking how much they improved in 5 years. But anyways, I'm going to get this field and the contract field done, and then we can see how much our yield improved and how much yield we got, how many liters of barley. Alrighty guys, we are just about to fill up the semi with the first load from our field. And as you can see from the mini-map there, the left side is what I've already cut this year, and then the right side is last year. And again, the lighter, more green color is a better yield. So the yield has definitely improved a lot, and we're definitely over halfway done before the semi's full. So not quite 2 full semi loads out of the field, but it's going to be pretty close to that. And then maybe even the extra grain that you usually get from harvesting contracts will bring us over that 2 semi loads. Yeah, which is about 80,000 liters, I believe. So we should get some pretty good money from this. We're gonna... Obviously this combine's not anywhere near full, it's not even halfway, so we're just gonna top off the semi, and then we'll get back in the field once we've unloaded the semi into our silos that we just built a short while ago. Alright, let's just leave the combine here, get in the semi, and get over to our silos. Here we are at our farm, where we've built our grain silos here. We did buy an auger, and I'm not sure how these work for certain, because I've never used them before. It did come with the map. Yeah, it's good. The auger will for sure reach. We're going to fill up the one on the far right first. And we should be able to fit 2 full semi-loads in each one, because they'll hold 95,000 liters, and a semi will only hold 40. Alright, that should be pretty well lined up. Now let's get in the semi. Let's see what it's going to take to get this lined up here. Whoa. That didn't work. Let's just get it close. The auger. Oops. Let the auger be the thing that reaches. Maybe we should position the auger underneath the semi after the semi's already in place. Alrighty guys, well I've tried everything I can. Everything I can think of, and it is not, it doesn't look like it's even able to get far enough in there, oops, to unload. So unfortunately I think I'm gonna need a different trailer in order to use these silos, or else buy that really big auger, the convey all, that has the swinging attachment down at the bottom, because that would allow for easier access to the underside of the trailer here. How much is that auger actually? 25? That's not too bad. There's just not much room here at all for that. That's a shame. Alright, let's get this out of here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this semi-trailer here full, and then we'll just use this for the contract to bring the grain from the contract over. And I will just lease a trailer for our fields, or maybe even buy one and see if there's anything good used. There's that auger, but again, this is quite a large auger, so I don't think there's any room for that with our current setup. Is there any trailers that'll work in the used shop? Used items shop? It looks good. And you can use the grain door unload spot to dump in the trailer. Yeah, that's cheaper than that other auger, so let's just buy it. Oh. Let's just do standard. I don't want to spend $15,000 on price. It is the extension. Alright, so it's actually 40,000. Yeah, let's do that without the extension for now. Yeah. Alright. Then we'll drive our John Deere down to the shop to go pick that up, and I'll get back to you once we're back in the field. Alrighty guys, here we are, back at our field with our new trailer that we got, so that we should be able to dump into our auger to take it into our grain bins, because we did have a bit of a difficulty with that not fitting. Semi-trailers and augers are hard to line up, let's just say that. So here we are, ready to get back into the field to finish up harvest, and then we'll get right over there to field 7 for a harvesting contract as well. There we have our first trailer full of this new trailer we just got, and we're going to take it over to the farm, and hopefully this one works a lot better than that semi-trailer we just had. We still have it, because I don't want to sell all the grain that's in there right now. I bought the grain bins to sell the grain at the maximum value, the peak price, so we're going to see if we can cheat the system a little bit by using that grain on the contract that I'm doing on field 7, and hopefully that'll work. That way it thinks the grain we've shipped in the semi-trailer, which is from our field, it thinks it's from field 7, so it counts towards the contract, and then I don't have to shimmy the auger underneath that semi, because I've tried and it doesn't want to go. So Hopefully this works better. It should. I've got it set to grain door, I believe, as the tipping point. Yeah, tip side grain door. So we'll just have to line that up on the auger and make some magic happen. Let's get this auger lined up first. Turn it on. Alright. Spin her around. Let's shorten it up a little bit so it gets right in the spout there. I'm really hoping this works. There could be something I'm missing. I genuinely hope not. Alright, that's on. Let's get this thing spun around. And drop it in that little spout there. Hey, that's a good sign. Alright, we're dumping. It's dumping. Look at us go. It's filling up. Look at that. Alright. Well, it took a lot. Oop, don't stand in my crop there. It took a lot to get this going, but this should see a massive increase in price. Let's just check to see exactly how much. So about $8.60 right now. Maximum of $11.22. So we're leaving almost $300 per 1,000 liters on the board, which adds up pretty majorly. So that's our first 20,000 liters in the grain bin, with much more to come. Let's get back in the field. We'll get it finished up, and then we'll be in field 7 for our contract. What is this guy doing? We're back with that almost 2,000 liters of grain, of barley. And if this is not enough, I'm going to be quite sad, because I have driven back and forth way too many times. Okay, good, we're done. The contract is finished. Just leave this here for now. The contract is finished, which means we've done enough of the field and transported enough of the grain to be done, which means all of this is just bonus. Let's get our trailer in the field, and then we'll get the rest of this little crop off and put it in our silo there, and we should be able to fit all of this, I believe, in one silo, which is perfect. Everything is happening by design. So yeah, as I said, we'll get the rest of this field pulled up and in the silo, and then we'll collect the contract payout. I think it's about $8,000 or something. Let's just see. Yeah, $8,169. And after that, we'll be moving on into July for next episode, where we'll be harvesting the canola field, as well as moving forward into October, I believe, to harvest our sunflower field. So stay tuned for that one. And that's where I'm going to end the episode. If you've enjoyed this video or the other videos in this playthrough, make sure to leave a like. And if you appreciate the content, I would greatly appreciate if you subscribe. It helps you stay up to date with the videos I'm dropping, so you can watch them right away and don't miss them. And it also helps my channel and supports me, and it's greatly appreciated. If you've got any ideas or suggestions or questions about mods I'm using or the way I do things, go ahead and leave a comment, and I love answering those. So with that said, I'll see you next time. Peace.